With approximately 412 inmates on the death row, some members of parliament from Uganda, the United Kingdom, and human rights activists are reviving the debate on the death penalty.
I believe life imprisonment would be fitting, and the life imprisonment that is not defined by the years.
Custodial sentences as opposed to elimination. Because as we must understand, the core function of the state is to protect and not to destroy citizens.
Those challenging the death penalty say it should be scrapped on grounds that there are defects in the existing law, which they say restrains the court from evaluating the nature, circumstance of offense and individual character of the offender.
Some of the offenses that attract the death penalty do not satisfy the category of what is called a most serious crime. And overall, it has a bearing on our prison system.
They add that detaining of prisoners for unspecified periods of time as they await the death sentence is morally wrong and a violation of human rights. Others think the death penalty does not inhibit crime, arguing that brutal crimes are registered most in countries where it still exists.
It doesn't help to defeat violence, that it doesn't necessarily mean that if you try someone and convict them, that they actually were the murderer, that it can be possible for there to be miscarriages of justice. And because of that, and because it's a state's duty to protect its people, I hope that Uganda will be able to move to a decision which must be made by Uganda itself.
The private member's bill that seeks to scrap the death penalty proposes to amend Section 98 of the Trial and Indictments Act to permit courts to hear mitigation evidence in death penalties. In January 2009, the Supreme Court upheld the judgment of the Constitutional Court that mandatory application of the death penalty is unconstitutional, but said the death penalty per se remains constitutional. In its ruling, the court also said that mandatory imposed death sentences received by the vast majority of more than 400 appellants in the case should be commuted to life imprisonment. Since April 1999, there have been no execution for death row inmates. Suhail Mugabe, NTV.